What is going on, guys? My name is Bruno Aiello, and for those that don't know who I am, I was on Big Brother Canada Season 3 and Season 5, and yesterday we got some news that Big Brother Canada is being shelved or canceled, whichever way you want to look at it, and I have to say I'm not surprised, This is a Canadian television show, and in reality, Canadian television just does not last. The fact that we got to 12 seasons in the first place, I think, is a miracle. And that goes to show how good of a product that we had, that we got that far. We got to 12 seasons. Usually Canadian television shows, they last 2-3 seasons max, maybe 4 or 5 max. But the fact that we got to 12 just speaks for itself of how good of a product we had. Now, before we get into anything, I do want to share, I want to share some of my memories, my favorite moments, my favorite competitions, just things that I loved and appreciated from being on the show. And I want you guys to do the same in the comments below. I want you guys to tell me who your favorite players are, your favorite moments, your favorite seasons, your favorite casts, all that fun stuff, people you've met in the community over the years and all of that. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, it's like I was saying, this is a Canadian television show. We got to 12 seasons, which is an absolute miracle in itself. But we had a really good product. Our houses were always amazing. So big shout out to the production team. And before I get into all that too, I do want to give shout outs to the production team. They did such a great job with the house every single year. The comps were absolutely incredible. The designs and everything. So big shout out to all the production from the top all the way to the newest, member of the team. You guys always pulled your weight and did a great job. I want to know your moments and stuff. Big shout out again to all the viewers, the fans, everybody that, pumped the show up and was always just so respectful to the players. There's a lot of you out there that were very, very respectful to the players when we met or online or whatever it is. I want to give you guys a big shout out as well. You guys are legit the MVPs at the end of the day. And I want to give a big shout out to the players. These people are out there putting their lives and their name and their brand on the line for your guys' entertainment, for the viewers' entertainment. So big shout out to them as well for putting themselves out there. It's very easy to sit at home and say, oh, I would do this and I would do that and I would win and I'm the best and I'm this. But it's a very different story when you put yourself in that cage and in that environment and you have to play. As I think a lot of people at home forget, when you're at home playing, you have the game in your hands. You're literally seeing everybody's game. You're looking at it from an open book and you have all the answers in front of you. And, you don't realize when you walk in that house that there is 15 other people in there that think they're going to win too and think they're the best player. And it's not as easy because you don't have the answers in front of you like you do at home. So big shout out to all the players. Again, for putting yourselves out there. Big shout out to that because it's not easy. It's not that easy, and it is pretty tough in there. So, but again, I want to share my favorite moments, my favorite memories, and all that stuff. And I would love if you guys do the same in the comments below. If you've ever met me in person, please let me know in the comments below. If you've ever interacted with me and you had a good interaction with me, please let me know in the comments below as well. So anyway, I want to talk about my favorite moments. This year, I have a little bit of season 3 footage, just comps and veto wins and all this stuff. And there's a few in here that I really loved. One of my favorite moments ever that I want to say that I'll never forget. One of the moments I will never, ever, ever, ever forget was the first time I walked on stage on season 3 and the first time I walked off stage on season 3. And my absolute favorite time was walking back on stage on season 5. That moment I will never forget. If you were in the crowd on premiere night on season 5 and you were part of that crowd cheering, I want to say a big thank you. I will never, ever, ever forget that. Coming out on stage and just hearing the roar of the crowd cheering and just I got to tell you right now, you pumped me up so much going into that house. You filled me with adrenaline. You filled me with just like, okay, I need to win this. And you literally made me like step it up an extra gear just from those cheers alone. I really felt that. And I'll tell you one thing, for the longest time, and even when I got evicted on season 5, the roar of the crowd, for the longest time, it was so hard for me to sleep because every time I would close my eyes and it was like quiet in a room and it was pitch black in a room, I'm trying to go to sleep, all I could see and hear was the crowd, the cheers, and the lights. All I could do, I just kept hearing the crowd cheering, and it was so hard to fall asleep because I just couldn't shake that out. Just the sound of the crowd was so loud that anytime I was in a quiet room or a dark room, all I could just hear was the cheers. And I just want to thank you guys for that, man. It's just a memory I will never, ever forget for the rest of my life. Yeah, so a big shout out to you guys as well. But going on stage, walking in that house is another memory I'll just never forget. Just walking in those doors, knowing that there are so many people that just want to be in here, and I was just one of the lucky ones. You know, I'm just some regular guy from Ottawa, and I was one of the lucky ones to get chosen to go in and be able to show what I can do. You know, some of you might have liked my game, some of you guys may have not, and that's totally cool too. You don't have to like it. You know, you can. If you do, great. If you don't, that's great too. But to be able to showcase what I could do, because I always knew, you know, I was like, I could play this game. This is a game that's built for me. I'm a social guy. I like to interact with people. I like to do that face-to-face interaction. And I just knew this game was built for me. And I just had to prove it. And I did get a chance to do that, and I'm really appreciative of that. I want to talk about my favorite comps. Actually, this one right here you're seeing in the screen beside me is one of my favorite moments as well. In the Big Brother house, simply because it was the first ever triple eviction. This is on Big Brother Canada Season 3. First ever triple eviction. It was never heard of before. You've never seen this before. And there's that light right there. I won this challenge. There's me right there celebrating. I'm pumped up. I'm amped because I know if I lose this competition, I am going home. So I had to win this. I knew I had to win this, and I did. And it's one of those moments, it's one of those jaw-dropping moments that people will remember because, as you see right here, I'm using this veto on Zach Olinik. This guy and I were going head-to-head for weeks. He wanted me out. I wanted him out. We were just trying to figure out how to do it. I finally had the chance to just, not use the veto and send him home, but I had a bigger idea in mind. I said, hey, I want to pull this guy in, use him as a shield. Moving forward, I'm going to save him and go ahead with him. Someone else took a shot at him. He's obviously going to want to get back at them before he gets back at me, kind of thing. And it worked to an extent. Twist those twists. We know the rest of the story. Anyway. But yeah, that is one of my absolute favorite moments. There's a lot of them. We did a lot of comps. I've won a lot of comps. Personally, for myself, I loved winning veto comps. I always try to throw HOH comps to, try to at least guide it into some direction that I can control, to someone that if they won, I could, maybe control their HOH. But I always, I wanted to win all of the vetoes, none of the HOHs. That was just my strategy, going in. This is an OxyClean competition on Season 3, came with $5,000, which I did win. This was the one HOH I won. I went for it. It was a $5,000 prize. And my best friend at the time, Ginger Ninja Greg, was just evicted, hours earlier. And, I knew I was going to be next if I didn't win. So I needed to win this one, and I did. So I want you guys to tell me in the comments below, what's your favorite challenges, moments, players, all of that stuff. And I want to know. I personally want to know, and let's just share some good memories over the years, the 12 seasons. Also, this is a good time to tell you guys, I do stream 6 nights a week on Twitch and Kick. You see it right there, Capone Gaming, you see it below. You can come by 9 p.m. Eastern every single night. I do stream, and we talk Big Brother. We watch new watch parties. We do like old seasons, new seasons. We're going to be watching the new Big Brother US Season 26 together on Kick, so make sure you follow that channel if you want to watch it with a bunch of fans and other alumni. They're always in the chat watching it with us. Other alum come on the stream. We play games together. We chat, all that fun stuff. So make sure if you're into that stuff and you want to talk with other alum and watch the show and hear our opinions while it's happening live, come on by and do that as well. We have a really good spot. So I want to talk about the cancellation. I'm not, going to skip over that. My thoughts on the whole cancellation. Again, it's 12 seasons in. It's bound to happen. To be honest with you, I'm surprised it went to 12. I thought the season was going to go away. Probably, it was a few seasons ago. It's like, okay, this season's the show is really starting to struggle. You could tell. This was before the cancellation of the live feeds. I know you guys are going to say the live feeds is the problem and da-da-da-da-da. And to be honest with you, my personal opinion, I disagree with that. I think by canceling the live feeds, it actually prolonged the show for a couple of seasons. We needed those sponsors. There's no money in Canadian television. The feeds do not make the show money. And by canceling the feeds, yes, we got 12 different sponsors, which the way I feel like they did the sponsors, it just didn't hit right. And but again, this is, the contract side that we don't understand, and I'm sure there's a lot of contracts where, let's say Samsung, they want, if they're going to pay the show X amount of dollars, they want X amount of airtime. And guess what what episode has the most airtime? It's the eviction nights. And it was unfortunate because it definitely watered down the show for me when there's a 20-minute Samsung commercial in the middle of an episode, especially an eviction episode. I feel like it just absolutely killed the show for me. I was okay with no feeds and dailies. I was okay with that. It was, and again, I understand the reason why they do that, and it's to get these sponsors to come in and give them money. I understand it. Some people will say it's not the same show without the feeds. I understand your argument. I agree it's not the same show for those that want to watch the feeds. I agree with you. The thing is, there's a lot of people that just watch the show for what it is, and they watch it on TV with their families, whatever it is. They watch the show. At the end of the show, they turn it off, and they don't care. They don't remember the players' names at the end of the show. I know a lot of people that are probably watching this video. You know everybody from season 1 all the way to season 12, who their cousins are, where they live, what high school they went to, what their dog's name is. There's a lot of you out there. Sure, yes, you guys are the hardcore fans, but there is a lot of people that just watch the show, turn it off, and they forget who's who, the next day. They don't care. They just watch it for entertainment. They turn it off, and that's it. And there's a lot of people like that too. I understand the feeds thing, and I agree. If this is a show that you love, and you love the feeds, and you watch it for the feeds, then I understand you're upset because you're not watching it for what you want to watch it for. And that's what I felt like when I watched the show for what I want to watch it for. It just wasn't there anymore. I felt the show became very political, where before it used to be about just rawness and just players going in and just being themselves. I felt like it was, players going in, and it was about the game. People loved the game. Whereas I feel like in the later seasons, it was about social media. It was players going in that wanted to make their social media bigger, and the game was second to that, which is what kills the game. Because if you're not there for the game and to play and to win and to be hungry for the game, you're only there to gain followers and a social media presence after, well, you're already in it for the wrong reason, and it's going to reflect that on the episodes, the show, the gameplay, and all that stuff. As we saw the last few seasons, there's just no gameplay anymore. So it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of what these shows have become. And I feel like also, there's just a lot of reality TV out there now. There's just shows popping up left and right everywhere. I think it's just everyone's reality TV'd out. Everything's so watered down. There's a lot of recycling the same players and all that stuff. And there's some of that too. Now, again, these are just my opinions. You're fair. It's fair, and you're free to disagree with me. Let me know in the comments below. That's totally fair and totally fine. I understand there's gonna be a lot of pushback about the feeds. Oh, the feeds killed the show. The no feeds, the no feeds, the no feeds. I think people are very tunnel visioned on that. Sure, it probably upset a group of the viewership. I agree, but it's not. I think by canceling the feeds, it gave us a couple of more seasons with the more sponsors. Yes, it kind of invaded the show a little bit with the sponsors. I agree with that as well. But I truly believe it gave us at least another season or two in the end, which is, then we see the product we had. It was pretty bad. And the gameplay hasn't been great the last couple of seasons. We can talk about that too. But anyway, for me personally, I feel like the golden era of Big Brother Canada was 1 to 5, and this is not a shot to any player from 6 to 12. This is not a shot at you whatsoever. It's all love and respect. I'm just talking as a whole. I feel like that's when it just started kind of declining a little bit. Season 6, 7, they're great seasons as well, but then it really started going downhill from there. Personally, my opinion, and I want you guys to tell me yours as well. But anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on all this. It is sad. It is unfortunate. But at the end of the day, guys, it's just a TV show. And I understand sometimes people use this as an outlet. Maybe they, this is their entertainment or their outlet or their friends or whatever it is. And I understand that. I'm not trying to be insensitive to that. But at the end of the day, guys, this is just a TV show. These are just regular people from, across Canada that just want to play a game and have some fun and stuff like that. It's not really that serious. It's just a TV show at the end of the day. But I enjoyed it, and I've been watching Big Brother for a very long time. I've been watching it since I was about 15 years old. Big Brother US Season 2 was the very first season. Actually, I'll give you my experience with how it all went down. I'll give you my whole story from start to finish and where we are today. So I was Big Brother 1 came out. Big Brother US Season 1. came out. And my brother was sitting there, and just by chance, because back in the day, man, you got to forget I'm about 104 years old. Back in the day, we didn't have PVRs. If the show was on TV, you watched it. If you missed it, you missed it. And so Big Brother 1, there was just a random episode on, and my brother caught it, and he's like, "Yo, Bruno, come over here. Check this out." And I sat down for about 2 seconds, maybe like 20 seconds. I was like, this is the dumbest show I have ever seen in my life. And I got up and I walked away. I was like, this is stupid. Whatever. Fast forward to BBUS season 2. By chance, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm scrolling through TV Guide. That's right. I said TV Guide. Some of you in here will remember what that is. Most of you won't, but that's fine. TV Guide. And I see Big Brother season 2 premiere. I'm like, whatever. We click it, go to watch it. And I was immediately hooked. Dr. Will, big shout out Dr. Will, immediately hooked. And I was like, again, I'm about 16 years old at this time. And I'm watching Dr. Will play and do his thing. And back then I was 16 years old. I had a 16-year-old mentality. And Dr. Will was like literally me as a 16-year-old. But he was a grown-ass man at that time. So anyway, so I'm like, that's how I would play if I ever played the game. This guy's this and this and this and this. And I loved him. I loved him. I loved how he didn't care, and he just didn't care about. And I was the same way when I was 16. I didn't care. I was just, who cares about anybody else? Screw you. But and then so I was like, I'm one day I'm gonna be on the show. So I literally looked it up. I'm watching the BBUS season 2, and I look it up online, and it's like you got to be 19 years to apply. So I said, when I hit 19, I'm going to apply for this show. I hit 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, goes by. And I'm still watching Big Brother now. I'm watching it every single season. Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm 19. So I'm like, it's time to apply. I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I go to apply, and it's like U.S. only, and I'm Canadian, right? So I was like, well, that kind of sucks. So I obviously can't apply. So I was like, if this ever comes to Canada, I am going to 100% apply. So Season 1, we get an announcement that Season 1 is coming to Canada. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I actually sat down. I'll never forget this. I was sitting at my mom's kitchen table. I was older now, but I was visiting my mom. I was sitting at her table, and I started recording a video. And I'm the kind of guy, now this is going to sound crazy, because I'm the kind of guy, you have to meet me in person. Like, you can't, you don't get my energy, my vibe, whatever you want to call it, over a video. And I know that sounds crazy because it is a TV show and everything is over a video. I get it. Even this video right now you're watching, but you got to meet me in person, man. If you meet me in person, then that's when you feel me, And so I started recording the video, and I was like, nah, screw it, throw it out. And then, we were pregnant with our first kid. So I said, okay, I'm not going to go on Season 1 because we're having a baby. So I said, I'll do it for Season 2. So I never applied for Season 1. We're going to apply for Season 2. We decided we're going to have another baby. Okay, no problem. I'm not going to audition for Season 2. Season 3 comes out. Okay, Season 3 auditions come out. And we made a deal. And it's like, okay, you can apply this one time. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you tried, and that's it. You're never going to apply again. I said, deal. That's a deal. I'm cool with that. Because in my mind, I said, I only need to do this once. I need to apply once. If they see me, there's no way I'm going to let them say no, but I'm going in person. I'm not doing a video. I'm doing it in person. And I'm not going to give them a chance to say no. I'm going to give them 100 reasons to say yes. I'm not going to give them a single reason to say no. So that was the deal we made. I'm going to go audition one time. If I make it, I'm on. I'll do it. Cool. If not, I'm never auditioning again. So I go down to Toronto. I do my audition. Absolutely crush it. Big shout out to my team. If you were in my audition team, please let me know. I still think about you guys. I was actually showing a picture of you guys on my stream last night. I was talking about you guys. I still remember every single one of you, man. Every single one of you I remember. So I audition. I make the show. So we fast forward. I play Season 3. I'm done with Big Brother because once you make the show, you can never apply again. That's just the rules. Once you make it, you're done. That's it. See you later. The only way to play again is if they ask you to play again. So Season 5 comes around, and Robin, big shout out Robin. I love you very much. Got a lot of love for Robin. She's just absolutely incredible. So thank you for everything you've done, the opportunities and everything. I love you, okay? And Robin calls me, and she's like, hey, what if this is right before, about a month or so before Season 5. And she says, hey, we're thinking of maybe, getting a couple of players to go in and host some comps or something like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, no problem, man. You want me to come by and just host a comp? Yeah, that's cool. Just let me know and I'll come down, And she's like, okay, cool. What if you had to go in and you just stay for a night and you maybe coach a player or something like that, just for a night, and you're just gonna, you're in and you're out. Yeah, no problem. Just let me know. And then she calls me back we just kind of talk a little bit, whatever. She calls me back the next day and says, "Okay, listen, you're not a coach, you're not a this. I want you on this show, and I'm not taking no for an answer." And I said, "Okay, now we're talking, and I'll never forget that call." And a big shout out again to Robin. And I was like, "Yes, let's do this." So they did call me back for season 5. You cannot audition again. So I said yes. And the rest writes itself. So I want to give a big shout out also to my season 5 cast. The 8 returning players. First of all, for putting yourselves back out there to do it again a second time. A lot of us had unfinished business, and it was just a lot of fun, and I was really thankful to be able to play with them again. And to the new members, the new players that came in that season, you guys were awesome as well. Big shout out to you guys for that. But that's my history with Big Brother. So after season 5, I just was done. I was done with it. I said, listen, it's tough because the way I always explain it, I love this show. I've loved Big Brother for a very, very long time. I've watched it since, Big Brother US season 2. But it's like that magician, and I've talked about this many times on my stream. It's like, when you go to a magic show and you see the magician cut someone in half. And you're like, whoa, that's amazing. Like, that is so cool. I love this. And then the magician like kind of invites you backstage and says, hey, listen, this is how I do the trick. And then the next time you see the trick, you're like, well, it's not as impressive anymore because I know how it's done. So that's how I felt. And that's where the love of Big Brother kind of got away from me a little bit, is when you play the game, you see the tricks that, you're behind the curtain. Now you see how the show is actually ran. You see what's really going on in the show and behind the scenes and all that stuff. It really kind of takes a little bit of that magic away. And I'm very thankful I got to be on the show, but it really took the enjoyment out of the show for me because I looked at it in a different lens. And it really changed my perspective of the show and just everything. And that's why I'd be a little tough on the players that were there for like social media or that just didn't play or weren't there for the right reasons. I always gave them like kind of a hard time, not a hard time, but I always appreciated the ones that were there to just play the game, and they didn't care. They were just themselves, and they played the game to win or just to whatever they were going to do. I always respected that. So big shout out to all you guys for doing that. And the ones that carried the seasons, man, there's a lot of you out there. You know who you are. You guys were awesome. Big shout out for that. But that's basically my history with Big Brother. And I still do watch it today. I don't enjoy it like I used to. I don't know if it's just because I've been watching it now for 25 years or whatever it is, or if it's just because, again, like I've seen behind the curtain and the magic just is a little different. But that's my history with it. And, again, I want you guys to tell me in the comments when you started watching it, all that fun stuff. Just let me know all your favorite memories and all of that. Again, guys, I do stream on a site called Kick and Twitch. I go under Capone Gaming, Kapone Gaming, as it says below. Everybody's welcome there, guys. Even if you cheered for me, if you didn't cheer for me, it doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome there. We have a really good, reality community in there, non-reality community, gamers, viewers, everything, man. We have it all. We do a lot of alum night games. We play a lot of like Among Us and stuff with a lot of alum, which I'm actually setting one up right now. We have a bunch of people. Big shout out to Bailey, the last season's winner. Actually, not even just the last season's winner, like the last season's winner. You know what I mean? Like the last. Big shout out to Bailey for the win. And there's a few of the BBCAN 12 people and US and all that are going to be joining us for these games. And I do set them up, and I will be setting them up more regularly. We will be doing BBUS watch parties on the channel as well. So make sure you follow the channel so you get information on that when we do this. And I always love to give inside baseball. I'll give, the real dirt behind the scenes on what happens in these comps and what's going on and the DRs and stuff that I do on my live stream. So you don't want to miss those as well. But again, guys, I just want to say thank you to everybody watching this video. I will be doing recaps for BB26. If there's anything I didn't mention in this video that you want me to talk about, just ask me in the comments. I'll get to you. It was just my little take. I know I didn't really talk much about the cancellation thing, but what is there to say? The show is canceled. It's unfortunate. I love the show. I respect the process. I respect everybody involved from top to bottom. It's not an easy task. The show, I promise you, they didn't want to cancel this. They would have saved it as much as they could, or they kept it going as long as they could if they just ran out of real estate. And that's just the reality at the end of the day. I'm sure these people, the producers and everybody in the Big Brother production side, I guarantee you they want to keep this show going. This is their baby. They're very proud of this show, as we are, and as I'm sure the viewers are too. We're very proud of the show, but everything good comes to an end, and this show, there's no way it could go on forever. 12 seasons is a very long time. Instead of complaining that it ended, let's just be happy of the memories we made, the friends we made, the moments we made, and just the joy that it brought us for those 12 seasons. All right, guys, again, my name is Bruno. I'm out of here. I appreciate you all for watching this video. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to sub to the channel. We'll be doing a lot of Big Brother US coverage, all that fun stuff right here on this YouTube channel, right on my Twitch and Kick channels, all that fun stuff. I love you all. Take care of each other. Peace, peace, peace.